Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Easy English Learning. In today's English class, we are going to do our next poem of literature, that is The Last Leaf. It's written by William Sidney Potter, also known as O. Henry. He's known by his pen name O. Henry. Pen name is for writing he used to use a name that was O. Henry, but his real name was William Sidney Potter, and he was an American writer of short stories. His stories were famous for their plot twist at the end and were widely read because of their witty narrations and playful language. Some of his well known stories are The Gift of the Magi, The Ransom of Red Chief, and A Retrieved Reformation. Let's read his present story, The Last Leaf, and find out what it is all about. Sue and Joanna were two friends who shared an apartment in a colony for poor artists. One winter, many people in the colony fell prey to pneumonia. Joanna was one of them. The doctor was worried about her progress as she seemed to have lost the will to live. He felt she would recover only if she became more cheerful. Now, the story starts with two friends, Sue and Joanna. They used to live in an apartment in a colony for poor artists. In the colony, there were poor artists used to live. One winter, when many people in the colony fell prey to pneumonia. Now, what happened? Every people there, they fell prey to pneumonia. Fell prey to means they became ill with cold and fever because of cold winds and rain. Now, Joanna was one of them. She also got this pneumonia. The doctor was worried because her progress, it seemed that she had lost her will to live. She was so disappointed that she thought that she won't be able to live now. He felt that she would recover only if she became more cheerful. Now the doctor said that she will be fine only when she will become more happy, more cheerful. Only then she will be able to recover from this pneumonia. Now, let's read the story that what actually happened and if she's able to recover or not. Joanna was looking out of the window and counting backward. Joanna was looking out of the window and she was counting. Counting backward means 12, she said, and a little later 11, and then 10 and 9 and 8 and 7, almost all together. Now she was counting like this: 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, like that. She was counting. She looked out of the window. What was there to count? Now, when she was looking out of the window, what she was actually counting? There was only a bare yard and a brick wall. There was nothing there. What she was counting? There was only a bare yard. Bare means lacking covering. It was not covered. And yard means a group of buildings, we can say, and a brick wall. That was just there outside the window. That's what she was counting. An old ivy vine climbed halfway up the brick wall. Ivy vine, it's a creeper with dark green leaves. Means it's like a plant. Vine is actually a type of plant, and it's like money plant. Like we have money plant here in India, it is like that plant only. So there was a plant there, and old ivy vine climbed halfway up the brick wall. It was covering halfway of the brick wall that was there outside the window. The cold wind had ripped the leaves from the vine until its branches clung, almost bare to the crumbling bricks. Now, the cold wind had ripped the leaves from the vine. Ripped means pulled apart violently and quickly, because the weather outside was very cold and the wind, it violently ripped the leaves from the vine, the branches, until its branches clung almost bare to the crumbling bricks. Clung is the second form of cling, which means to hold together. Almost bare, bare, you know that, which was not covered at all, means the branches were not covered at all, and the cold wind, it has ripped the leaves from that to the crumbling bricks. Crumbling means to break into small pieces, and it was as if it was breaking those bricks into small pieces. The wind was so strong, it was so cold. What is it, dear? Asked Sue. Now, Sue, her friend, she asked her, what is it, dear? 6, said Joanna. They are falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. Now, Joanna is talking to her friend Sue. Now, 6. What 6? 6, she's talking about the leaves. That only 6 leaves are remaining on that branch. They are falling faster now. Now, the leaves are falling faster. She's talking to her friend. 3 days ago, there were almost 100. Now she's telling that 3 days ago, there were almost 100 leaves there, but now there are just 6. It made my head ache to count them, but now it's easy. There goes another one. There are only 5 left now. Now, she said that made my headache to count them. Now she said that earlier because there were so many leaves, so it was very difficult for me to count all of them. But now, as they are less, so it's easy for me to count. There goes another one. Now she said to her friend, now see, there goes another one, and there are just 5 left now. 5 what, dear? Tell me. Leaves on the ivy vine. Now she was asking, what are you talking about? 5 what, dear? Tell me. Now she said that leaves on the ivy vine, on that tree. Look at that. I'm talking about the leaves. When the last one falls, I must go too. I have known that on for 3 days. Didn't the doctor tell you? Now she's talking to her friend that when the last one falls, when the last leaf falls, I must go too. That I will also go away with the last leaf. I have known that for 3 days. That I just know this for 3 days. Don't Didn't the doctor tell you? Now, Joanna is talking to Sue that didn't the doctor tell you that when these leaves will be fallen, then I will also go away with them. Oh, I never heard of such nonsense, complained Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? Now, Sue complained that I have never heard of such nonsense. What you're talking about? That's not possible. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? Now, what does this mean? That what is the connection between old ivy leaves and you? There is no connection between that. You will get only well if the leaves will be there. No, it's not like that. Take some broth now and let me get back to my drawing so that I can sell it to buy some good food for us, some food for us. Now, broth is what? It's like a thick liquid food, soup made with meat or vegetables. So, she said that take some broth now and let me get back to my drawing because they live in the artist, that lane was of artist, that was a colony of poor artists. So she used to draw Sue, and she said that let me go back to my drawing so that I can sell it to buy some food for us. There goes another. No, I don't want any broth. I want to see the last one fall. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of thinking. Now, Joanna said again that, see, there goes another. What? The leaf. Another leaf that fall down. No, she said to Sue, no, I don't want any broth. I don't want any soup or anything. I just want to see the last one fall. I'm just waiting for the last leaf to fall. I'm tired of waiting. She said that I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of all these things. Joanna, dear, said Sue, keep your eyes closed and try to sleep. I must call Behrman up to be my model. Don't try to move till I come back. Now, Sue is talking to her friend, Joanna, dear. Just keep your eyes closed and try to sleep. I must call Behrman up to be my model. Model means a person who can be copied by the painter or thing to be copied by the painter. It's like that. Don't try to move till I come back. Now she's trying to soothe her, to comfort her. Don't try to move till I come back. Old Behrman was a painter who lived on the ground floor beneath them. Now, Behrman, he was a painter. He used to live on the ground floor below them. Behrman was a failure in art. He was failure in art. He had been painting for 40 years and yet he was nowhere close to being a great artist. Now this man, he was painting for last 40 years and still he was nowhere close to become a good artist. He had always been about to paint a masterpiece but had not begun it yet. That this man, he was always he wanted that I will paint a masterpiece someday, but he has not begun it yet. He earned a little by serving as a model to the artist in the colony. Now he just used to earn a little by serving. He used to serve as a model uh, so that for the artist in the colony. He was a fierce old man, but he was very fond of the two young artists in the studio above. But he was very fond of the two young artists in the studio above. Studio means a small single room apartment, a room where an artist work. Who are these two young artists? Joanna and Sue. Sue found Behrman in his dimly lit den below. She told him of Joanna's idea and how she feared that Joanna would indeed float away and when her last hold upon the world grew weak. Now, Sue found this Behrman in his dimly lit den. Dimly lit means a very light light was there. Very light, very dim lights were there. She told him of Joanna's idea and how she was so feared. She was so scared about this that Joanna would indeed float away. Float away here means that she would die, actually. When her last hold upon the world grew weak. That means last hold upon the world. That means the only thing that was keeping her alive. That she was keeping herself alive just on the basis of the leaves on the branch of the tree. She was joining her fate, joining her life to those leaves. Joanna believed that if the last leaf, when the last leaf will fall, she will die too. She was connecting the life of her life with the leaves. Old Behrman, his eyes red with tears, shouted at the foolishness of such ideas. Now, this old man, his eyes turned red with tears, and he really shouted at the foolishness. Ki, what are you talking about? This is such a foolish thing that you are connecting your life with leaves or branches. No, that's foolish of you, of your friend. The next morning, Joanna whispered, "Pull up the shades, I want to see." Sue obeyed. Now, the next morning, when Joanna and Sue were together, Joanna whispered, "Pull up the shades, I want to see." Shades means curtains. That pull up the shades, pull up the curtains. I want to see the window. I want to see outside the window. Sue obeyed her friend. To their great surprise, even after the beating rain and fierce gusts of wind that had lasted through the long night, there stood out against the brick wall one ivy leaf. It was the last one on the vine. Now, to their great surprise, both the girls, they were surprised that even after the beating rain, there was so heavy rain last night and fierce gusts of wind, and wind was blowing so heavily, cold wind was blowing that had lasted through the long night. That whole night, the wind was so fierce, that wind was so strong. There stood out against the brick wall one ivy leaf, but one leaf, it was still there on the branch. It couldn't take away that leaf from the branch. The wind couldn't take away that leaf. It was the last one on the vine. and it was the last one on that branch. "It is the last one," said Joanna. "It will fall today and I will die at the same time." Now, Joanna, who was connecting that there is some relation between those leaves, that last leaf and her life, she said that now this, see, it is the last one, it is the last leaf, and it will fall today and I will die at the same time. The day went by, but the lonely ivy leaf clung to its stem against the wall. And then again, that night, a strong wind blew wildly, and the rain beat against the window. Now, the day went by, but the lonely ivy leaf clung to it. Clung, you know that it is the second form of cling, to hold together. It was still against the wall, it was still against that branch. And then again that night, a strong wind blew wildly, and the rain beat against the window. That rain, the rain and the wind, it was so heavy that it was beating against the window. The next morning, the ivy leaf was still there. Next morning, ivy leaf, it was still there. How? You'll get to know later. Joanna lay for a long time looking at it. Now, Joanna was looking at it. She looked for a long time at it, and she thought that how come it is possible? And then she called out to Sue. And then she called out her friend. "You may bring me a little broth now and some milk." Now, she herself called her friend and said that, "Okay, just bring me some soup, that broth, and some milk. I wish to sit up and watch you cook." Now, she said that, "Okay, I wish to sit up and watch you cook." The doctor came in the afternoon and said to Sue, "She's out of danger. Nutrition and care now, that's all." Now, that afternoon, doctor came and said to Sue, "Now your friend, she's out of danger, and just she needs nutrition and care, and she will be fine. And now I must see another case I have downstairs." And the doctor said that, I have to see another case of pneumonia. That is your downstairs. And who was this person? That Behrman, that old man. His name is Pneumonia too. Now the doctor is saying that his name is Behrman, and he is also having pneumonia. He is an old, weak man, and the attack is acute. There is no hope for him, but he is going to the hospital today to be made more comfortable. Now, the doctor is telling that he is an old, weak man, and the attack is acute. Acute means very severe. He has a very severe attack of pneumonia, that there is no hope for him that we could save him. We can save him, but he's going to the hospital today to be made more comfortable, so that we can make him more comfortable, so that we are shifting that old man to the hospital. 2 days later, Sue came to Joanna and put her arms around her friend. Now, 2 days later, Sue came to Joanna and put her arms around her friend. "I have something to tell you, dear," she said. "Behrman today died in hospital." Now, she told her friend, Sue told Joanna that Behrman died in hospital. The caretaker found him 2 days ago, helpless with pain. Now, the caretaker, who was the caretaker of that old man, he found him 2 days ago, and he was feeling so helpless, he was in pain. His shoes and clothing were all wet and icy cold. That his shoes and clothing were all wet and icy cold. It was so cold. They couldn't imagine where he had been on such a dreadful night. Now she was telling her friend Sue to Joanna that they couldn't imagine that where he had been, that why he was so cold on such a dreadful night, why he had to go outside on such a dreadful night. Dreadful means extremely unpleasant. Why he was outside on such a dreadful night. And then they found a lantern, and then they found a lantern means it's a kind of portable proactive case of light that we can easily take from one place to, it's like torch, you can say. It's not exactly torch, but it's a portable light that we can take it and carry it easily from one place to another. That is lantern. Still lit, a ladder, and some scattered brushes, and a palette with green and yellow colors mixed on it. Now, Sue is telling to Joanna that what they found with the old man, that they found a lantern and it was still lit, that it was still having light in it, and a ladder, some scattered brushes, and a palette. Palette is a thin oval board used by painters. You must have done painting, so you must know about it. For holding and mixing colors, that kind of plate, that is called palette, with green and yellow colors mixed on it. And look out of the window, dear, at the ivy leaf on the wall. And now Sue is telling to Joanna that look out at the window that is outside the wall. Didn't you wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew? Now Sue is asking to Joanna that you didn't think about it, that why this it never fluttered. Fluttered means to move quickly. That why it didn't flew away, fluttered or moved when the wind blew. Ah dear, it's Behrman's masterpiece. He painted it there that night the last leaf fell. And now she was telling to Joanna that the last leaf that was there on the branch, on the ivy, that ivy leaf that was there on the vine, that it was Behrman's masterpiece. That until 40 years he couldn't make a masterpiece. He was always planning to do it, and he actually made his masterpiece, and that was his leaf. He painted it there that night the last leaf fell, and that's why he got pneumonia, because he was outside the whole dreadful night. So, here, this leaf is a symbol of despair that turns into a symbol of hope for Joanna. Here, William Sidney Potter, he thinks that ivy leaf stands for her life. That slowly she was thinking that it is falling away. When the leaf remains, however, it becomes a symbol of hope for her. That when she thought that that leaf is still there, that if there is hope for that leaf, that why there is not hope for me. So that ivy leaf can hang her, that yes, she can live. So this was a beautiful story by O. Henry. Just read this story and go through the video. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. For any other question, you can ask in the comment section, and please go through the story. For more videos, please watch, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.